Is this Jackson 7 string the best budget 7 string you can buy? Well, it's pretty easy to be the best budget 7 string when I was saying, it's pretty easy to be the best budget 7 string when there are really no other options in the budget range, especially around $200. There is an Ibanez around $250 and a couple other Jacksons for around $200, as well as some other Jacksons up in the $250 range. There's not much choice in the budget 7 string range. Hey, it's Carl from artofshred.com, and today we're taking a look at the Jackson Special Edition JS22-7 DKA-M Dinky 7-string guitar. That is a mouthful. Special edition because this is exclusive to Guitar Center, Musician's Friend. It's been a while since I've had a 7-string, but my last 7-string was actually the brother of this one. It was the Jackson Archtop Dinky JS22-7 DKA-HT. They are very similar. So there's basically 3 guitars in the around $200 Jackson 7-string line, and they're all very similar. This one has a different neck, different style pickups, but I think they're the same pickups. They call them the same name, but they're not a unique name. It's just Jackson High Output Humbucker. I will say on that old Jackson 7-string I had, I couldn't get great, clear, high gain, low end tones out of it. I'm not having as much trouble with this one, so that's nice. But I will say, a lot of that is just really EQ, and these pickups are not, phenomenal, but they are good, as you heard in the intro song and you'll hear later in the sound demo. So I got this for $149.99 plus tax. Regular price is $209.99. It's regularly on sale though for at least 10% off. You want to hear about deals? Of course, subscribe to Riff City. Also, there is a unique guitar pick hidden in one of the scenes of this video. If you find it, leave a timestamp in the comments. There was a hint in the Riff City email, so of course subscribe if you want those hints. Oh, and just a little special aside with that pick, I caught it at a concert when I was a teenager. So I'm not much of a 7-string extended range player, but my old band did, we used 6 strings, but we tuned down to B. So we tuned down to B standard. So it was like playing a normal 6-string, except way tuned down. And obviously we used thicker gauge strings, a wound G string to make all of that happen. If you want to hear an old demo, I'll link it below if you want to have a little bit of a laugh. But anyway, good times. So let's get to the specs of this Jackson 7-string. So obviously made in China. The most surprising thing about this guitar, and I mentioned it in my first impressions video, is it's light. It weighs 6.7 pounds. As far as more specs, so 26.5-inch scale length, maple neck and fretboard. It's got these cool piranha inlays, 2 humbuckers, master volume, master tone, 3-way pickup switch, 24 jumbo frets, and it has a compound fretboard radius from 12 inches to 16 inches. So it's basically flat to even flatter. And we do need to point out, right, 7-string, width at the nut 1.875 inches, nearly 48 millimeters. So it is a wider neck, but it's really thin. So I find this very comfortable. If you've never played a 7-string, obviously you should play one in a store before you kind of decide to buy one, but it's not uncomfortable to play. So, and especially this really smooth, fast neck. So it's got a string through body with a Hipshot style bridge, which I really like. It's really comfortable, looks nice, aesthetically pleasing, all of that. So that's a nice touch on these. First impressions with this Jackson 7 string. I did do a full first impressions unboxing out of the box experience video. I'll link that in the description. But the gist of it is this. Out of the box, had no fret sprout, no sharp frets, no high frets, no fret buzz. The action was set well, just about below 2 millimeters at the low B and the high E. So as far as that goes, there's not really much more you can ask for in an out-of-the-box experience. This guitar is comfortable to play. The only thing I had to do was adjust the intonation. Kind of has it all as far as out of the box. I will say there's one thing I didn't catch in that first impressions video, which immediately after I filmed it, basically I noticed the output jack came loose. And of course, really easy to fix. I've got a rocket socket from Pepper's Pedals. I like these because they're plastic. You're not gonna mar any finish or anything like that. I'll link them below in the description. But I will say one other thing, if you're ever fixing an output jack or tightening an output jack, make sure to take the back plate off and hold on to the output jack while you're twisting it so you don't just run in circles with that. So in any case, first impressions out of the box, wonderful experience with this guitar. So I touched on some of these already, but let's talk about the positives. The neck is smooth, fast, thin, especially for a 7 string. And again, if you've never played a 7 string before, it does take some getting used to, but this neck is comfortable. It's fun to play, it sounds good. So as far as a budget 7 string, yeah, not much more you can ask for. There are very few negatives about this guitar, which brings us to, let's talk about flaws, but not deal breakers. First one is the cheap tuners. They're not phenomenal, not bad. The guitar generally stays in tune. It's got a plastic nut, which was cut well. Again, guitar generally stays in tune, but those are probably the first things I would change out if I was to keep this guitar long term, use it for a lot of recording or live, anything like that. And another thing is, so there is a bit of a cut kind of on this heel. The heel is bulky. So it doesn't start until the 16th fret, middle of the 16th fret, thankfully, but it is difficult to get up to the higher registers if that's something you're trying to do with this guitar. So it's got 24 frets, but it's difficult to get up to that 24th fret. So who is this Jackson 7 string for? Well, this is primarily for someone who wants to dabble in 7 string, not necessarily play live or anything like that, but you just want to mess around with something other than, your normal 6 string guitar. And for that, I think it's great. So this is also a popular mod platform, and it's great for that. You upgrade the pickups, the bridge, the tuners, the nut, and you've still got a reasonably priced 7 string guitar that plays really well. So, it's got good bones and it's already decent. I wouldn't necessarily say this is for beginners. Definitely could be though. Enough talking. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get on to the sound demo. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what do you think about this budget 7 string? Do you have any 7 strings? How do you like them? Let me know. Until next time. you.